April 17th, 1945. A desolate roadside near Heilbronn, Germany. Hannah Schäfer, a 19-year-old Luftwaffe soldier, stands alone. Her uniform is ragged, her face smeared with blood and dirt. For 3 days she has been hiding in a ditch after her unit surrendered. A patrol from the 100th Infantry Division spots her. Private First Class. Vincent Vinny Rossi, a 22-year-old Italian-American from Brooklyn, who knows a bit of German from his grandmother, is the first to approach. Anna raises her hands, terrified. "Please don't kill me!" she screams. Vinny lifts his rifle, but seeing the raw fear in her eyes, lowers it slowly. He moves closer. Anna shuts her eyes, bracing for the worst. Instead, she hears fabric tearing. Panic floods her as she opens her eyes. Vinny is ripping open the back of her uniform, but it's not for harm. He's trying to reveal the large, infected shrapnel wound she had been hiding. The wound is swollen, green, oozing with pus, and infested with maggots. Vinny curses in Italian and calls for a medic. Moments later, Corporal Daniel Goldstein, a Jewish medic from Vienna who escaped in 1938, is on the scene, kneeling beside Anna. He starts cleaning the wound with sulfur powder and morphine. Anna trembles, half from fever, half from disbelief. Looking up at Vinny, Daniel says, "She has 3, maybe 4 hours before sepsis sets in." Without a moment's hesitation, Vinny scoops Anna into his arms, her weight barely felt. He runs toward the aid station 2 miles away, with the entire patrol following behind. They take turns carrying her, rushing to save her life. When Anna attempts to thank them in broken English, Vinny replies, "Save your breath, kid. We're getting you fixed." At the field hospital, surgeons work tirelessly for 6 hours, removing 14 pieces of shrapnel and half of her left shoulder blade. Anna wakes up 3 days later, IV in her arm, wearing clean pajamas and a teddy bear resting on her pillow. Vinny, still in muddy boots, is fast asleep in a chair beside her. When she stirs, he wakes instantly. Anna whispers, "You tore my dress." Vinny, embarrassed, replies, "I did it to save you, not for anything else." Weak but genuine, Anna laughs for the first time in years. 6 months later, in October 1945, Anna, now walking with a cane, is finally discharged from the hospital. Vinny, who has extended his tour just to visit her every weekend, arrives on her last day with a small box. Inside is a brand new sky blue dress, bought with 6 months' worth of poker winnings. He kneels, awkward and clumsy, and says, "Anna Schäfer, I tore your dress once to save your life. Now I'm asking, can I put a new one on you for the rest of mine?" Anna cries so hard the nurses think something is wrong. In 3 languages, she says yes. They marry in the hospital chapel in April 1946. Vinny carries her across the threshold as her leg still aches in the rain. They name their first daughter Margaret, after the nurse who saved Anna's life. Every April 17th, Anna wears the blue dress. Every year, Vinny tells the same joke. "I am the only guy who tore a girl's clothes off on the first date and still got a yes." Their grandchildren roll their eyes, but they never stop smiling. Because sometimes, the moment you expect violence becomes the moment you find forever, thanks to one soldier tearing the right thing for the right reason. April 17th, 1995. Stuttgart, a cemetery at dawn. Anna, now 69, stands alone before Vinny's grave, cane in one hand, a small cloth bag in the other. She opens the bag, with trembling fingers. Inside, the sky blue dress from 1946, still perfect, still the color of that first morning when she felt human again. She spreads it over his grave like a blanket. Then, she takes out one more thing, a blood-stained piece of her 1945 uniform, the one Vinny had torn open to save her life. It is preserved in glass. She places it on the blue silk. "Vinny," she whispers, her voice breaking, "you tore my dress once to give me tomorrow. I wore the new one every April 17th for 49 years. Today, I bring both back so you know I never forgot." She kneels, kisses the stone, and cries the way she did the day he proposed. A groundskeeper watches from a distance, tears rolling down his face. Anna stands, salutes in the American style, and walks away. The blue dress stays on the grave all summer, through rain, sun, and wind, never fading. Every April 17th after that, Strangers find a fresh blue ribbon tied around the stone, along with a single red rose. No one ever sees who leaves them. They only know an old woman with a cane comes once a year, touches the stone, and smiles as if she's 19 and in love again. Because some dresses are not just fabric. They represent the exact moment someone chose life for you. And some love stories don't end at death. They simply change color from blood to sky blue and keep shining. The years passed, but Anna never let Vinnie's memory fade. Every April 17th, the blue dress became a link between the past and the present, a bridge that connected her to a love that transcended war and time. Her children and grandchildren always saw her with a soft smile on her face when she wore the dress, as if the simple act of putting it on brought the magic of that first encounter between life and death back to life. Even on the darkest days, when the pain in her legs kept her from walking with ease, she never stopped visiting Vinnie's grave, where the blue dress remained untouched, a symbol of immortal sacrifice and the promise made. Their story, like so many others of love that emerges in the most unlikely circumstances, was a reminder that, amidst chaos and suffering, the simplest act of kindness can change fate. Vinnie, with his courage and humanity, not only saved Anna from imminent death, but gave her the chance to live a life she never imagined having. A life filled with love, resilience, and simple yet meaningful moments, like the smile of her children, the hug of her granddaughters, and above all, the loving gaze she always shared with the man who saved her. And so, even with the passage of time and the marks of age, Anna kept the flame of memory and love alive. Deep in her heart, she knew that as long as the blue dress existed, Vinnie would also live, eternal and immortal. She wore it not just as a piece of clothing, but as proof of the greatest act of love she had ever received. And every year, as she put on the dress, she was reminded that, although war had taken many, she had found something that could survive all the storms of life, a love that defied even death.